One of the other serpentine,
I think it's one of the other serpentine, I think. So I think I might have finally narrowed down part of the problem. As we can see here on this here is image 6846 and this is image 7756. These here are two different videos that I downloaded from iCloud, which I use for the vlogs. As we can see here, the frame width and frame height is 1280 by 720, and here it's also 1280 by 720. And that is only 720p video quality, unless I'm weirdly mistaken, but I'm 99% sure that's how it is. But when you look at what is exported from Clipchamp, it is 1080p by 1920, and that is 1080p video quality, or HD. So it seems like I'm importing videos at 720p, and then that would explain why my videos are always getting more blurry. It's because Clipchamp then has to upscale them to 1080p because I export the videos at 1080p. However, if you look at over here on iCloud, I don't think there's anything there. Just some images of Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So let's just not spoil any of those gifts in case people are watching. But then as we can see here in this example one, the video is recorded in 4K 2160 by 3840 at 30 FPS, and that's what it is. But then when I download that file, which is file 7757, let me just go to 7756 because that's one I had downloaded, and close that right here, and then click on the info. So yeah, then as we can see here, for file 7756, it is 4K 3840 by 2160. So 7756 is this one here. And we can see that when I download it, it's only 1280 by 720. So yeah, something is definitely getting lost between that. So I think if I can figure out why the video quality that I'm recording at is not being what's downloaded, I'm assuming it's just that they don't have it as a default downloading to save on bandwidth and stuff like that for the overall level, because there's probably billions of photos and videos in iCloud, so to save on cost, that's probably just a standard thing. So if I can figure out what to do to fix that, I might have to end up manually plugging my phone into the computer. I'm not entirely sure, but I think if I can figure out that, then that in combination with the different recording things that I have on my phone, I might be able to finally fix this. So yeah, I just chose the download at original unmodified size, and now it downloaded in 4K, so that seems to have fixed that, so that is good, except now we're at the bottleneck of the computer being too slow to edit it. However, at least we now know what the issue is, but I am trying, I think this is Filmora. Yeah, we are trying Wondershare Filmora, and it is currently working on the file, but they have proxy files, which is what Clipchamp doesn't have. So in theory, I might still be able to finally actually release high quality videos, in theory, if I can just get the proxy files to work on this. So yeah, this here, so match to media. So in theory, I can do this, and yeah, it should hopefully work for that. And yeah, we can already see just by clicking skip that there. But yeah, as I'm not sure if we'll be able to see too much of a difference. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, because this might be part of the proxy file already. I'm not entirely sure on that. But in theory, we should be able to get this working, hopefully, and figured out. And then that might actually be finally what we were trying to do. I need more! Though if I had more running, it would probably break the computer. But this is just relaxing for some reason, so I'll let it play for a moment.
Cultist convoy with the armor shop, and one of the other serpentine. One of the other serpentine.
I think it's one of the other serpentine, I think. But then on that note, let's check Clipchamp's progress. Yeah, it's still at only 31%, and it was uploaded at the same time as... Actually, it was uploaded before this one on Filmora, and yeah, Filmora is already done with a proxy file and stuff. Meanwhile, Clipchamp is still trying its best, but yeah, it's going to take it a while. And on Clipchamp, the last time I put a 4K file in, it buffered the entire time. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but good progress. Yogurt time. Just 36 days left for the used purge. Does anyone else tape up their Christmas tree box with a new layer of tape every single year after they put it away? Yogurt time. The oven is now gone. So yeah, we are now, not sure where it says that. I know it says it's somewhere here, but yeah, we are, yeah, right here. It marks the 11th day of the strike already, and yeah, all of the things here, like they'll say the progress is limited and stuff like that. So yeah, basically they've made pretty much no progress whatsoever at the negotiations because they've been saying limited progress for months before the strike even began. So yeah, basically there's no update on the strike for the most part. So yeah, then we are going to be having it probably continue for a good amount still. And yeah, so that means that probably, if I had to guess, it won't be, it won't be till December, almost guaranteed, until the strike is over at the very earliest. Because right now it's the 26th of November. And yeah, so... It's 11 days, and historically, it's a minimum of 2 weeks. I think it's usually about 4 weeks before the government steps in. So yeah, we are quite possibly looking at the strike not ending until pretty much Christmas time. Within a very reasonable time frame. So yeah, it's basically impossible to get something for Christmas unless you're getting it through a different carrier at this point. But yeah, then that still leaves the millions and millions of packages that are just stuck in the Canada Post system that can't go anywhere. So yeah, there's that. And then yeah, so just going to be working on shipping stuff out then. But yeah, so the one thing I was thinking about possibly doing is how right now I ship via letter mail for small packages and parcel for large packages. All letter mail go through Canada Post. Meanwhile, probably 90 to 95% of parcels go through non-Canada Post carriers. So since Canada Post tends to do this quite often, it seems like their contracts are usually for like 4 to 5 years, give or take a little. And stuff like that it's quite possible that this will be a recurring thing. Well, not just quite possible, almost guaranteed. So what I am genuinely thinking of doing is at some point, it probably won't be for a couple years or so until things level out again after I start getting a whole bunch of the inventory listed and stuff like that. But then I might change it so that I no longer ship via letter mail and then only ship via parcel. And instead of having like shipping starting at $2.50 Canadian, it would probably end up being around the $6 to $7 mark for that stuff, because then yeah, parcels cost anywhere between like $5 to $15 depending on the location. So I'd find a middle ground for that, but the smaller the package, the cheaper it would be. So I would be able to offer a slightly lower rate than the current $10 shipping. But yeah, for stuff like that, it would be a little bit interesting to see how that would play out to help mitigate the effects. What I might end up doing is, like, for example, on Bricklink, I currently have a $5 minimum buy. So if you're buying like $5 of Lego and you had to pay shipping for something like that, then it would potentially turn buyers off. But if I increase the store minimum to like $20 or something like that, then once I start having a whole bunch of inventory in and stuff like that, then people would probably be fine with paying, well, I think it would be, if there's like, for example, $6 or $7 on shipping, up from, well, if they would have to spend $20 in the store, then most likely it would be closer to the $2.99 shipping for over 25 grams. So in reality, they would be paying around $2 to $3 more, potentially $3 to $4 more in order to have shipping that would arrive significantly faster and also be fully tracked on every single package. So yeah, I am strongly considering a change like that at some point in the future, though that will have some serious impacts on some other things. Like, for example, on eBay, all the minifigures, for a lot of that stuff there, it's priced. Like with the whole thing, it's always priced to be very competitive and stuff like that because there's a lot of other sellers and stuff like that. So you would have to change things on there a little bit to help reflect the updated shipping costs and stuff like that. But it seems like it could be possible. I'm not 100% going to pursue this route, but I think once things level out in like a year or somewhere around there, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, that I will, at least for like a month or so, just try that, see what happens. Does it hurt sales significantly or not? But then the other reason why I want to kind of pursue that a little bit is because to ship letter mail, you need to use stamps. And then for stamps, you need to buy them, and pretty much wherever you buy them from, unless you go in person, then you have to always sign for the package. However, when the people drop off the package, since I work late into the night and stuff like that, they're always here before I wake up. And so my parents have to sign for the package or something like that. And I want to try to avoid that whenever possible. The only other option is to go pick up stamps at the store, but then there's often very long lines at the stores and stuff like that, and limits and stuff like that. And then you have to pay gas and time for all figuring that stuff out. So that would also be able to help eliminate that as an option, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just, there's a lot of different positives, but then the negatives of buyers having to pay a little bit more. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing that I'm curious to see how it might work at some point in the future when I possibly test that out. But yeah, we should probably not be too worried about that for a while now, because yeah, can't really change anything right now. Canada Post strike. I know it would be the optimal time to change to that, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too early for that because I still got a lot of stamps to use, and yeah, I'm trying to do the used sellout. So if I also put the shipping costs to be higher, then that would cause the sales to go a bit slower and stuff like that. So yeah, I will be focusing on the shipping orders out and just keeping it as is for now. But I just wanted to say thank you, gotta hide the address here, to Retrofire. Just wanted to support Canadian friends during the strike, so thank you very much. I am about to pack up your order for that. But yeah, so just going to get to work. Still getting a few orders in, like we had these two here. I think this one here was, I want to say this one was $120, I think, maybe a bit more. And this one was $90. Sold this set here from my sister. And it sold for, I think it was $36, maybe $34. I have no idea what she paid, but considering it's a Trolls, she wouldn't have paid much for it. If I had to guess, I think she probably got it $15 or less. Then sold a Qatar minifigure for $29.99, and then one more set of the dark purple air tanks and helmets for $5. And then we have 4 orders on the cart there, plus the one I'm pulling now. Then there's one for local pickup. But yeah, so these orders exclude anything that would normally go letter mail, because those ones are starting to build up now. So for those curious, today we are shipping out 608.84, and it's still decent considering that it's we're in a strike and stuff like that. But for reference, for those curious, typically, because it's a Tuesday shipping day, normally we're shipping out about, well, I mean, average, like I mentioned in the previous vlog, is about 900 per shipping day, but it's usually lopsided, with Tuesday being higher and the Friday shipping day being lower. But for today, on a Tuesday, typically we're shipping out around $1,100 to $1,200 in stuff, and that doesn't account for the normal uptake as we approach Christmas and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was no strike, if today's shipping day was probably closer to the $1,500 mark. But yeah, so that's just a reference as to how the strike is affecting things in Canada. There's another one, but that's probably just because we moved the stove and he's probably living in it, still hoping that they can't actually enter the house. Yogurt time. So then in the daily Canada Post strike updates, it now looks like the special mediation is completely suspended, or, well, I say completely, but it is suspended, but they'll probably find something out eventually. So that is not a good update for that. And yeah, 34 days away from the used purge. So yeah, the project of removing the old labels on the drawers is now done. I did take a picture of all of them just in case it's needed for the future or something like that. But yeah, all of these are now labels removed. So yeah, the one thing that I'm seeing with all of the Canada Post strike stuff is how it's always talking about how that Canada Post is trying to steer away from letters and go more towards parcels. And so that has me wondering if it's possible that at some point in the future that Canada Post will actually stop having oversized letter mail for goods and stuff like that and then only have parcels. And so then at that point, then it might become more so the market norm to have it so that you can only ship the Lego via parcel within Canada and stuff like that, which would align it more with the States where they have only letter and parcel. In Canada, we have letter, oversized letter, and then parcel. And so oversized letter is the standard for sending Lego if it's under 2 centimeters and not fragile and stuff like that. But with all the talk about them wanting to move to parcel as a major thing and steer away from letters, it wouldn't be that surprising almost if they would remove that. So that would be definitely an interesting thing, because that would align it with pretty much almost everywhere, it seems, because pretty much everywhere, everything you send, all the goods always have tracking and stuff like that. But in Canada, it's I know that there's some other countries that do it, but in general, if you send something in the mail, like for example, if I sold this minifigure here, then I mean, this one's expensive, so it would probably be shipped with tracking, stuff like that. But if it's a normal one, it wouldn't have any tracking or anything like that. So that makes like all the PayPal stuff, if someone files a claim, or just disputes on eBay and just things like that, are always more unique in Canada and stuff like that. So that type of thing would be an interesting difference if it were to happen. And yeah, I'd say that's probably got at least a possible chance of happening. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So just got some mail in, and yeah, was running a little bit low on tape. Let's actually grab the old tape roll to compare it here. So this here's our old tape that we would get from from Chit Chats. And yeah, this stuff here, it was 6 rolls for, can't remember if it was $13 or $17. So roughly $2 to $3 per roll. And then what we have now is this tape here. And so in here, I believe it is 48 rolls of tape, and I think it was $82 for it all plus tax or something like that. So it's cheaper, and I believe I did the math on it, and even if though it might not quite look like it, I think it is a little bit more tape than on one of these rolls, and it is heavy duty tape, although this here is probably heavy duty tape as well. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, this should hopefully have it all stocked up for a while. And there's a paper there. Is that just, no, that's just the plastic. But yeah, so we now have a restock of tape, because yeah, it's a bit funny with Chit Chats being one of the discount carriers. I checked how much it would cost to get 2 things of tape from them, and so for 2 things of tape from Chit Chats, I think it would be like $17 on shipping, which is absolutely wild. Considering that I'm in Brampton, and I'm like one of the cheapest places to ship to, because it's in the center of one of Canada's largest cities, so it's not like I'm in the middle of nowhere. So considering it's shipping from Chit Chats, which is the discount shipping carrier, it seems quite excessive that it would be that much on shipping. But yeah, so there's that. There is free branch pickup. The nearest branch is 20 minutes away since they closed their Brampton one. So then yeah, I'm just going to order from Amazon for this, and so that's where I got it. So yeah, there is that, and yeah, so now we've got a whole bunch of tape. So I was just trying to figure out why the footage takes so long to upload into Clipchamp or Filmora and stuff like that if it's 4K footage. And so then I was doing some research, and it seems like RAM is the biggest factor. So I just checked, because I got 32 gigs of RAM, but Opera, I have 122 tabs open for work. Like, it's just all the different stuff I use very frequently and stuff like that. So I do want to keep all those tabs open, but that is taking up 87% of the memory on the computer, which is, let's just go back to memory usage. Yeah, we are currently using 28 of the 32 gigabytes 24/7. I know that's probably not good, but I It's just how I do things. I know it'll probably kill the components faster and stuff like that, but that's just what I'm going to just have it at for now. But it's not slow for normal use or anything like that. Everything runs smoothly on the computer and stuff like that. It's only slow when I am trying to upload the footage to Filmora, so I am going to probably just get some more RAM to upgrade that real quick, and then that should potentially help with the video editing. Yogurt time. So it's 33 days left till the used purge, and let's do a update on the Canada Post strike. So Canada Post is laying off striking workers. Okay, that's interesting. So they are laying them off there. So that is an interesting update. But it's a temporary layoff, so it's not like they're fired or anything like that, but interesting there. So we'll pause that. So union says has been laying striking employees off as labor action by more than 55,000 approaches 2-week mark, called layoffs a scare tactic. And stuff like that. Collective agreements are no longer in effect. Employment's changed. Canada labor law referring to the section that covers lockout notices. So yeah, it's an interesting update there. And yeah, I wonder if that'll make any difference. But I doubt it considering how it's gone so far. I'm not sure if I remembered to show it or not, but the store is below 15,000 lots left, so that's good progress there. And then let's just check the remaining amount of that, which is used on here. So yeah, we have 67,000 used bricks in 10,000 lots for $24,000 left. So yeah, then we are going to be seeing how much of that is going to be purged when we do all of the stuff. But yeah, so that is good progress there. So we have the 30 something days left, and yeah, basically whatever isn't sold by then is just going to get removed from the inventory. Then yeah, I'll just figure out what will be relisted individually again, and what will just be sold by the pound as bulk. But yeah, so that's what we have left for the remainder of this until January 1st or December 31st or somewhere around there is when I will pull all the remaining lots. Currently it's at 60% off. I'm trying to figure out right now what the highest percentage I'll go off for that is. I'm currently thinking around 70 to 80% is the highest it will go. Anything beyond that is too much. So yeah, I'll possibly 75% mark is when I'll just not put it any higher. And yeah, so we will see what happens. Yogurt time. So 32 days left till the used purge, and let's check what the current updates on the Canada Post strike are. So strike, what's happening with mail, getting a bit scary, suspended still, and suspended, so pretty much no updates on that. So in total, we're shipping out 262 today. Yogurt time. So now 31 days left till the used purge, but then looking up at the Canada Post updates, so currently the latest ones is that apparently the Chambers of Commerce is urging the feds to stop the strike. So there's that. I wonder how much of an impact that will be on the stuff for making people trying to step in and stuff like that. And apparently the postal workers are filing unfair labor practice complaint layoff things. So seems to be like this one here might have potentially a slight impact on it, but besides that, seems to be no updates yet again. And that means actually I think we are 14 days into the strike now. Let's check here, refresh this, because yeah, it started on the 15th here. Pages are still refreshing. There we go. So yeah, it started on the 15th, and so 2 weeks is 14 days, so it'd be 29 to 30, and we're on the 30th today. So yeah, it's been 2 full weeks of the Canada Post strike, and yeah, things don't seem to be updating at all. So yeah, seems to be no progress with that really. So yeah, 31 days left, and then things will finally start getting interesting again. Hopefully the Canada Post strike ends before then. But yeah, I was mentioning earlier in this vlog about how potentially might try the thing of switching to the parcel only like in a year or so for tests like that. But if for some wild reason the Canada Post strike isn't ended by the end of this year, then that would be like 1.5 months without it. Then at that point, I would just completely stop at that time if it for some reason went on for that long, though I am doubtful it would go on for that long. But if for some reason it did, then I think I'd probably, at least for now, just switch to it then and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't, and then I can run a test like in a year just to see how that all works. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you got this far, not too much happened in this vlog, I don't think, but I'll figure out if there is stuff while editing. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you got this far, today is Saturday, but the vlog will be released on Monday, so the next vlog will be out next Monday.